Hey there everybody. So if you're watching this, it's because you're somehow still subscribed to my channel even after literally over a decade of no content, nothing. Maybe you came back because you saw the post that I had made that said I was going to come back at some point. And so, I mean, here I am, I guess. I guess the real question that needs to be asked is, where the heck have I been all these years? Where did I go? What happened? Is everything okay? I mean, nothing bad, like particularly bad happened per se. It's just that some things happened that required me to get off of the internet for a little while. Basically, I should specify the Sonic part of the internet, the video game portion of it, the cartoon portion of it. Maybe some of you still read some of my stories that I occasionally post every now and then. I would like to write more. I'm not, because there's a lot of stuff going on in my life. For instance, I graduated from college. I got my bachelor's in journalism, so I'm trying to make the most of that. For those of you who may be fans of football, you can actually check out some of my content over at 5 Reasons Sports Network. I cover the Miami Dolphins. I have been for the past 7 years now for various blogs, outlets, things like that. Basically writing, doing video, stuff like that, and that's how I've gotten the most out of my media time. As far as the other stuff, if anybody was wondering what happened to the comic dub, that's not coming back, unfortunately. The sad reality is that Ryan Onzika, I think that's still how you say his name, he and I have not spoken for pretty much ever since I got off the internet, so that's like a decade worth, and he has not drawn the Dark Doppels comic for just about as long. So he basically canceled that whole project. So if I were to continue at that point, all you would get is a very dissatisfying cliffhanger, and I don't want to leave it at that. I might as well just leave it as a satisfying, conclusive Son Amy story in and of itself right then and there, and just leave it at that. As for other projects, the Dash Adventure, anybody who reads my stories on fanfiction.net and now Archive of Our Own, you're probably going to notice now that that story has been replaced by another story called A Light in Darkness. That's basically just basically the Dash Adventure, except with a higher skill level of writing, with better characterization and a lot fewer OCs, because all the folks that I interacted with, associated with, that were part of Dash Adventure, I no longer, again, associate with. It's been a decade. All those folks that I used to know, they've either moved on with their lives or they're doing their own things now. So that's all that is pretty much on by the wayside. So at this point, the question becomes, where does that leave this channel? Am I really coming back? Is there stuff that I want to do? Well, yes, there is. I would eventually like to maybe try to dub another comic. I have worked a little bit with an artist that goes by Draw Lover Lala. She is making her own comic about Sonic and Tails, fighting against the Deadly Six. They're so forgettable. I can't even remember their names. The Deadly Six. Basically, it's like an age swap story, and Tails becomes the big brother, Sonic becomes the little brother, and they get into shenanigans with that. It's a funny little story. English is not her first language, so I've basically been her how should I say it? Her copywriter, her story editor. Maybe you can call it the localization team. I'm the Pontac and Graph of this particular comic, except that I try to have more of a handle on how the characters actually talk. So, we talked. I want to eventually try to get that comic dubbed at some point. But first, I have to get myself back into the groove of actually being part of this YouTube community. Like, somehow, miraculously, over the course of 10 years, you guys have continued to subscribe. 3,000 subscribers last I checked, and I haven't done anything for 10 years is baffling to me. I can't even fathom it. I thank you guys for loving the content there so much. I'm sure that Ryan really appreciated it. I don't talk to him anymore again, but if you do find him somewhere, be sure to say, hey, I found your art by watching this comic. You're awesome. Just give them a heads up, because artists, it doesn't matter how old you get, artists are still going to be wanting to do this stuff. Like, I'm almost 30 years old. You kind of just think about that for a second. It's been that long since I really got into this, but I still love the Sonic franchise as a whole. There are a lot of other franchises that I've gotten into. Again, if you've read my stories on fanfiction.net, you've known that. And I would eventually like to do more content on here. But what kind of content am I doing? Again, I already mentioned it. The dub, I want to get back to doing stuff like that in time. I have to kind of find new voice actors, because obviously the Sonic Song 182 crew, they've already gone up to way bigger and better things. They've kind of become like their own massive entity. So I don't know if they would be willing to work with me again. If they would, I'd be absolutely ecstatic. But if not, I mean, there's definitely no shortage of voice actors out there wanting to get their names out there. And if push comes to shove, I would like to be able to find a way to compensate them for their time, but that will require more monetary I need more money for that, and I'm not going to ask you guys for money. Like that's definitely not what I'm doing. Like the first time I come back in 10 years and I'm asking for money, absolutely not. I'm not opening a Patreon or anything like that. I'm not opening like a donation box or anything like that. All I'm saying is that this is kind of the reality of life now, as such as it is. So the other thing that I would like to do is maybe I would like to start doing some gaming content. I am very much a gamer. My brother, who goes by Orion the Starhog on YouTube. You can look him up on YouTube and on Twitch as well. Every once in a blue moon, I would make a little guest spot on his channels and his videos. Very recently, I tried and failed to do a Pokemon Nuzlocke of Platinum. I didn't even get past the first gym leader because I was so cocky about the whole thing, and I ended up getting blown out of the water. So I would like to do stuff like that, just because I want to be able to have some fun. I'd like to be able to play some Sonic games that I haven't played yet. Believe it or not, as much as I love Sonic, there's a lot of games I haven't played. I've never played Sonic Unleashed, for instance. I've never played Sonic Colors, never played Sonic Lost World, never played Sonic Generations. I've basically kept myself limited, I guess you could say limited, to the classic Sonic games. So Sonic 1, 2, 3. I've played some of Sonic 3D Blast, which again isn't necessarily a good game, but I remember playing it. And of course, I've played the adventure titles, the adventure era of games. I've played Sonic Adventure 1, 2, Sonic Heroes. I haven't played Shadow. I haven't played 06, but I can at least appreciate the ambition that was there for those games. Not that I think that the games necessarily are good, because there's a lot of flaws with Shadow and Sonic 06. Adventure 2 is going to be my favorite Sonic game for the rest of my life. I'm convinced of that. But there are a lot of things that I want to be able to do. If you guys would love to come along for the ride, I'd be thrilled to do that. I'm actually using my brother's recording setup here to actually give you this video. So, Lord willing, he'll be willing to let me do some more of this stuff in the future when he's not in the process of recording something. And maybe he'll even be willing to edit some stuff if I give him some of the monetary compensation, the good old YouTube ad revenue, such as it is.
Okay, I'm just gonna flag this up. I'm over here making sure this whole thing literally doesn't blow up in his face. A, you don't have to pay me. B, you don't have to ask. I'm more than happy to help.
Okay, well there you go. So, I want to do more stuff. I want to play some games. I want to do some dubs. I want to make projects. Like, heck, even maybe if I can even make some of my stories like audiobooks type of things. Like, if anybody would be interested in that, let me know. So you tell me what it is that you're really wanting to see. Again, Dark Doppels, that's canceled, not necessarily because of me, but it's just partly it's because of me. And again, I haven't been there in 10 years, but also the simple fact is that that comic has been canceled for a long time. So if I were to continue it, there would be no ending. It would be an awful, awful cliffhanger, because he, from what I understand, and again, this was 10 years ago that we talked about this, he basically got tired of it. He got tired of dealing with it. He didn't want to go through with it anymore, and so it kind of ended on a midway through a storytelling. So the Dark Doppels is done. I'm leaving it as it is, because I feel like if I were to keep going with it, you would probably not be happy with where it landed, because there would be no ending. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm still looking for an actual full-time job. My dream job would be to cover the Miami Dolphins for a living. if that happens someday, I'll be more than happy. I'd be thrilled, because writing is kind of what I'm good at. Writing is what I went to school for. Writing is my passion, you could say. But I want to be able to do some other stuff too, because I also really enjoy gaming. I really enjoy the creative process, so to speak, and I love being able to make content, and I love being able to do this stuff, and I want to do it more. I wish I had more time to do it with my brother. It's just that some of the stuff that he does I'm not necessarily interested in. Like recently he's got into, what is it, League of Legends, and it's not my cup of tea. It just isn't. And it's not that I'm saying that you should watch his videos. He actually is really funny with all the editing that he does, and his buddies, and the way that they kind of interact with each other. But that game is not my thing. What I would like to do, I would like to try the Nuzlocke again, but this time just kind of doing it either with him or by myself. I would like to be able to just kind of make the content. So we'll see where things go. So that's basically the story. Just so you guys know that I'm not dead. I am still here, and I do want to do some stuff. I'll see what the first thing that I do is. Obviously, it's not going to be a comic dub, because that takes a lot of time and effort to really put together. But I would like to be able to play some games and just kind of, I don't know, make some content with you guys and see what you guys think of it. So anyway, I'm rambled on for long enough. Now you guys know what's been going on. So hopefully you guys still stick around. You guys aren't too upset about where the comic is ending. And if you guys still want to go along with the ride with me, well, I'll be more than happy to hang around. So, with all that said and done, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to my little explanation, my little story, so to speak. And hopefully I'll see you guys soon. All right. Bye-bye.